Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome once again to Friday evening happy hour of coaching session with your host Ashutosh. And I'm very excited to bring about a new topic this time. It is about Innovation Circle, how to build a culture of innovation in your teams. So I'll be taking examples from more specifically from India, but even if you're not from India, that is okay. That's absolutely fine. I'm sure you will appreciate these examples. But there are also some other examples about innovation across organizations across the length and breadth of this world. So once again, thanks for joining this session on a Friday evening. And in case you're not connected with me, feel free to connect with me on these social media handles, be it LinkedIn, be it YouTube channel. Thanks to all of you for actually watching the videos on the YouTube channel. It really motivates me to create more content, to come back more prepared with more interesting topics to all of you. And do continue to patronize the YouTube channel. The scanned code is available there. You can connect on the YouTube channel there. All right. So without any further delay, let me deep dive into today's topic about Innovation Circle and what essentially is innovation all about. So before I go into innovation, I would just like all of you to solve this simple mathematical problem and let me know what is the answer for this. Uh, Obviously, you will need a calculator, so you can use the calculator in your mobile phone or you can use the calculator on the laptop. And let's try to solve this problem for a few seconds. And if you can let me know the answer in the chat, that would really be great. So I'll just pause while you solve this problem. And let me know whosoever solves it first, what is the answer to this problem. Anyone found the answer? Please let me know. Okay. Okay, so we have got answers. Okay, we have got answers now. Great to have those answers. Okay, so I think many of you are giving me the correct answers. 0.002 and 37.78. Absolutely right. Yes, those are the answers for this problem what we have, right? And again, the intention is not to teach mathematics here. So I've rounded it off. It is 0.03 for the first one, 37.8 for the second one. Again, as I said, the intention is not to solve mathematics problem here. The intention is to tell you that many times we shy away from taking small baby steps. We think that what impact will it have, right? What impact, for example, will this have? If I just increase from 0.99 to 1.01, it's hardly a minuscule difference, right? Or it's as such not a major contributor. But if you see the outcome, there is a huge difference what you're seeing, right? I mean, it has completely scaled up. 0.03 vis-a-vis 37.8. It has completely scaled up the response, right? So the message which I'm trying to give with this slide is that don't shy away from taking baby steps. Make sure that baby steps are very, very crucial, because even when you do those small incremental changes, small delta changes, it is going to have a major impact, right? It is going to give you major outcome. That is what I wanted to quickly talk about before I go into the happy hour of, today's topic more specifically about the innovation circle. All right. So let me ask all of you to take a minute and describe what, according to you, is innovation. Can anyone tell me what, according to him or her, is innovation? And you can unmute and speak now if you'd like to answer. What is innovation as per you? Any thoughts, anyone? For me, innovation is the slide which I just showed you, right? That number, what was there. What according to you is innovation? You can unmute yourself. Those of you who are on the Zoom meeting, you can now unmute yourself. Disrupting.
Hiren here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
So in order to answer the question, I'd like to take a different path, Ashutosh. So there are two terms we often use interchangeably without knowing the actual difference. So that is, I have seen even I was doing so earlier. So there's a term we call invention, then there's another term we call innovation. So both of these terms are almost used interchangeably by many people, but there's a difference between the two. Invention is like finding something new. Like say you find a new element, a new matter in the element table. So that's something like inventing, right? Inventing new step. Innovation is like improvising upon an existing concept by application of processes, methods, techniques. Let's say you get a bulb. So it was made of a normal filament, right? So it has limited life. Then someone thought of creating a bulb with a tungsten filament, which had a longer shelf life. Right? So you just did some addition and subtraction, multiplication to an existing concept, and that's what is called as innovation. And it can happen in baby steps, small incremental steps. I hope my definition is appropriate.
Yeah, see, again, I just wanted to hear different perspective. This is one of the perspective what Hiren brought about, that invention and innovation. I mean, he tried to compare between invention and innovation and what are the differences between the two. Any other thought anyone has? Innovation, what according to you is innovation? I think it's appraisal time is just over, right? Your managers would have told you that whether you were innovative in last year, was your performance innovative or not, right? Or they would say that, okay, I need some innovative activity to be done in your next year, right? When we come back next year. So what is innovation as per you?
So innovation for me is thinking out of the box for that matter, Ashutosh. So something that we can, which brings, not the same kind of things over, and something which has a refreshing value or refreshing taste for a customer.
Okay. Okay. So one correction needed. It need not always be for your customer. It can be for yourself also, for your own organization also. For example, I might innovate a new HR process for my company, and my customer may not be even affected by it or impacted by it. All right. So, I mean, not necessarily it is always external facing. It can be internal facing also. Something which you do internally is also an innovation. For example, I might be a very poor performer at office, but I do something innovative at my home, right? I develop something at home which gets a lot of appreciation. That could very well happen. So it need not always be an external facing. It could be an internal facing also. Now, there's a very famous management guru. I'm sure all of us have heard about it. All of us have read his books, or at least gone through those books or quotes. And the name of the gentleman is Peter Drucker. And what he says is innovation is the specific tool of entrepreneurs. Now, I would like to slightly differ here. It's not only with entrepreneurs, but also with intrapreneurs. Intrapreneurs are within the company. I'm doing innovation. The means by which they exploit change. So the key word here is exploiting the change. Change is not something which I have to be afraid of. Many of us get afraid of change, right? I can give my example, right? Even I was not that favorable of change. I mean, why change everything, right? I mean, things are going on well, right? Why unnecessarily change for it, right? So whether it's a flight ticket, which I'm booking to go to a client place, or a hotel stay on a particular room only, I would like to have that same room. We always tend to be in that comfort zone, and we very well are against change. But he's saying you have to exploit change as an opportunity for a different business or a different service. So something different you are doing from what you are doing today. Something out of the box, as Sandeep mentioned, is what we are doing, or we are challenging the status quo. Another way of defining innovation could be you're challenging the status quo. Now, Peter Drucker came out with this definition in 80s. Today we are in 2023, but many elements of the definition still hold valid. Okay, earlier, prior to the digital era, generally it was considered that my competitor will be from my domain or my industry only. For example, if I am, let us say, manufacturing car, my competitor will be a car manufacturing company. If I am manufacturing, let us say, electronic goods, my competitor will be a rival electronic good. But digital transformation has completely disrupted this notion. Today, you could have a company innovate and come out with a better product, and this company was not even in your industry, like what Apple did to watches, right? Watch industry, watches like Rolex and all, right? I mean, you come out with a smartwatch and it completely disrupts the industry. Or what Uber and Ola did to the cab business, right? I mean, earlier, if I was a cab driver, I would say that, okay, probably in Mumbai, in a city like Mumbai, the auto rickshaw driver is my competitor, right? The three-seater vehicle, what we have, or vice versa. Suddenly Uber comes in and launches a cab service, and that becomes my competitor. So now that definition, I mean, it was not explicitly mentioned, as you can see here, but that definition includes, basically, it also by default includes that this innovation can come in from a totally different industry. It can be a major disruptor. It can come from a totally different, I would say, enterprise or an industry, which probably you have not heard so far, which probably you would not have even experienced this before, right? I mean, you've not even heard about those names. And that is exactly what happened to a company like Kodak, right? I mean, they were one of the leading photographic the companies in the world. Today, it is nowhere. The Samsungs, the LGs of the world have completely destroyed the physical photography market, right? I mean, everyone wants to have digital photograph nowadays. So that's what we call it as the innovation. I mean, that's a standard definition of innovation, what is there. Now, let me ask you a very interesting question. And this question is, I'm pretty sure people from India, this is only from people from India, I think, but I'm sure this is a product which is well known beyond India. Can you tell me a major innovation which has happened very recently in India? Anyone? Anyone would like to answer this question? And by the way, this product was ridiculed when it came first. This product, right from, and again, don't want to take a political stand here in India, but even in Parliament, this product was ridiculed, that this can never happen in India, but it is a successful product. Any guesses? Anyone?
Is it UPI payment?
Perfect. Yes, it is UPI payment. That's right. I mean, the kind of transformation it has brought in, right? The other day I was traveling to Mumbai, and you know what? I forgot my wallet at home. Now, if I would have gone back home, picked up my wallet, and wallet had everything. It had my ATM cards, it had my credit cards, it had my, luckily I had my identity proof, one in my bag. I always carry two identity proof. So one was in my bag. And then I said, do I really need to go back home? Because I have my identity card with me. I have my identity card with me here in my bag, the government issued identity card. Do I really have to go back home, right? And believe me, I could survive for 5 days without a physical wallet. Okay, in a city like Mumbai, which is of course one of the biggest commercial hubs in India, but I could actually survive without a wallet in that city. Right. And that is the transformation what this product has brought in, right? As I said, this was a product which was ridiculed. They said that it will never get successful in India. How will hawkers accept payment on UPI? How will basically a daily wage earner get his or her salary? But if you look at some of the statistics, they're mind blowing, right? 85% of digital transactions today are happening through UPI. People are not really keen to have credit card nowadays, except probably if they want to have those free in-flight lounges at the airport. Only then probably they'll go for a credit card. But vis-a-vis, let us say 5 years back, 85% of the digital transactions are done through UPI. For people who are not from India, if you visit India, you will find every shop has got a QR code displayed very prominently in front of them. All you have to do is you have to scan that QR code and make a payment, right? So whether you're paying to your maid, whether you're buying any grocery item, whether you're traveling by bus, whether you're traveling by train, UPI is the mode of payment. In fact, it is going to disrupt the wallet industry. I mean, the companies which design wallets, believe me, the wallets are going to soon disappear. And if I could survive for 4 days without a wallet in a city like Mumbai, and by the way, I was told that a person actually has done a trip of India without wallet in his pocket. I mean, that was the story which I was reading on internet somewhere, that this person actually traveled the length and breadth of the country without actually a wallet. Now, this is an innovation. This is what we call it as innovation. Having that code and just making payment through that code. And this is the rise of, this data is up to 2021. I'm sure when the 2022 data is added to this, UPI transactions could have crossed 10 lakh CR, 10 lakh Indian rupees CR, right? I mean, that's the power of an innovative product. That is what it brings about, right? The power of an innovative product. And likewise, there are many such products in India, by the way. This is one digital transformation. This is one of the fastest digital transformation success story. So if someone tells me that, you know what, my company is making digital transformation or helping you to do digital transformation, the first question I'll ask him, have you been a part of this UPI journey, right? Because surprisingly, this is one of the, and in fact, now it is crossing Indian borders. What we hear now is that even it is going to be accepted in Singapore soon. And I'm pretty sure that UPI would be a way of payment as we go along, right? So yes, this is what we call it as an innovative product, right? It's not just the product which is innovative, it's the usage of the product, it's the reach of the product, it's the post support of the product which makes it an innovative product, what is there. Yeah, so that's another product is Indian Railways. Right now, you don't need to carry a ticket printout. Right, all you can do is you can show it on your mobile phone, and you are allowed entry into trains in India, right? So it saves paper, it saves a lot of hassle, right? Taking a printout and all. I remember my young days when my parents had forgotten ticket at home, the railway ticket, and we had to actually go back, and we were at the risk of missing the train. Now gone are those days, right? So this is how life has become simpler, and that is one of the important messages which I would like to give you from building innovative products. Okay, now Peter Drucker also talks about 7 sources of innovation, or the 7 triggers by which innovation can come up. One is the unexpected. Okay, now this is something like accident. Accidents do happen in life, right? So something like what Mr. Archimedes discovered, right? How did Archimedes discover Archimedes' principle? I think we all know the story, right? He was struggling, finally frustrated. And finally, when we went to take a bath, he realized, oh, wow, eureka, I have found that. When he put that tumbler into the bathtub, then he found the Archimedes principle. You weren't really innovating, but suddenly that innovation comes to your mind, or that light emerges, right? And that's the eureka moment, or the aha moment, what we call it. So this is an unexpected source of innovation. And believe me, in our life, there have been products which have come out like this. The unexpected source through which innovation has happened into our life. Okay, moving ahead. The second one is incongruities. What is incongruities? When there's a disconnect between what is it and what you should be, right? What the product should be doing and what it is actually doing. And there's a mismatch between expectation and reality. And that actually challenges you. That disruptor actually challenges you to actually come out and create an efficient product, right? So that is the what we call it as a incongruity related to innovation. The third one is process need. I need it. There's a bottleneck, there's a weakness in the system, so I need to reinforce it, and I need to improve the product in a better way, right? So that comes in as a part of your process need. It is mandatory, it is needed from a mandate perspective. For example, I create a coffee cup. And what happens is I create the ear of the handle of the coffee cup with the same material as the coffee cup. The thickness is same. And one feedback I get is, you know what, I'm unable to hold a coffee cup because even the handle is very hot, right? So then what I do is the process need is that I make the handle very thick with a thick material, the same material, but I thicken it up a little bit so that the heat does not is bearable or is not painful, right? So that is what we call it as a process need. So unexpected is something you were doing and it's like also called as fluke sometimes. In Hindi, we call it as jugaad also. Although jugaad, I won't still like to call it an unexpected. I mean, jugaad has got a logic behind it, but still, I mean, at a raw form, you can call it as a jugaad, but that is unexpected, incongruity, and process need, because your process needs it. You are making it innovative, right? Or you are trying to come out with an innovation around it. Then industry and market trends. We always knows we are again, I'm not reading out those material, that big piece what I've written there. Industry and market trend are mainly related to essentially competition. So your competitor has come out with a product, so now you have to better that product. It could be an external competition, it could also be an internal competition, and many times we see we are definitely impacted by an internal competition. We see that one brand of the same company starts killing the other brand of the same company, right? Because clearly there's a difference of what we see between the two, right? A classic case, what happened in India a couple of years back, right? Air Deccan acquired Kingfisher, and actually what started happening was there was a lot of confusion in the consumers, right? I mean, is it because Air Deccan was a low-cost airline, Kingfisher was a premium airline. Here it was a low-cost airline acquiring a premium brand, and then the positioning got confused, right? I mean, that's where that innovation actually failed. Then demographics, the changing demographics, age, education, disposable income, etc., that forces you to come out with innovative product. For example, let's take an example of a bank. Maybe 20 years back, bank was catering to one clientele of customers, one demographics of customers. Now that the entire job force has changed, their entire product packaging has to change. For example, 20 years back, it was easy to attract a fixed deposit, right? I mean, I as an individual will be attracted to park my excess money in a fixed deposit or even home loan product. Today's Next generation probably does not have home as a priority. They are not inclined on a 9-to-5 job. They probably are not interested in savings. So probably instead of selling them a saving or a fixed deposit product, I might want to sell them, let us say, a credit card to them. So that comes in demographics. So based on the demographics, you have to reposition, repackage your products. That can be a source of innovation. And then we have changes in perception, meaning, and mood. That also can be one of the ways or one of the sources of innovation. Opinions change, people's views change over a period of time, right? And their patterns change, right? So that also makes you change the perception, meanings, and mood. I'll give a very interesting example. Again, an Indian example. 15 years back, when I used to go to a multiplex to watch a movie, in the intermission, what used to happen is I had to go out and go to the snacks counter and order for snacks. Today, is that the scenario? No. Today, what happens? The person actually comes at my seat and he takes the order there, and I can get the snacks delivered without leaving my seat, without leaving the cool comforts of my seat. I get the entire snacks delivered to me. So whether it is popcorn, whether it is Coke, whether it is a sandwich or a croissant, whatever I want, it gets delivered at my seat. So that is changes in perception, meaning, and mood. And in fact, they can come in between also, right? I mean, they can not necessarily, they'll have to wait for the intermission or the interval of the movie, and they can come in the middle also. And last but definitely not the least is new knowledge, any new learning, a new knowledge, or a disruption. That is the seventh source of innovation, what is there. So these are the broad categories of sources of innovation. What can trigger innovation, right? The aha moment, till the new knowledge or the new competency we are going to build. That is what we call it as the sources of innovation. Many times this new knowledge could also be related to any market force disruption, or it could be also be related to industry or external disruption like COVID-19. And I think someone has already given an example of that. Yeah. So thanks, Hiren, for that. I mean, because of COVID-19, there were a lot of innovations what we saw, right? I mean, the way contactless deliveries were happening, or the way payments were getting accepted, the way healthcare facilities changed. I mean, we saw a lot of innovative activities or market disruptions because of COVID-19. Fair enough. Let us move ahead. Now, just like Peter Drucker came out with this radial diagram of 7 sources of innovation, there's another interesting model called Doblin's 10 types of innovation framework. And this model actually talks about the 10 types of innovation framework which support the business. So from a profitability, from networking, having the right structure, the right process, to evaluating the product performance, to see how the product interacts with the system, service, channel. Nowadays, we talk about a highly fragmented market, right? Multiple channels are operating, right? Brand and customer engagement. So that is what is the Doblin's 10-step framework of innovation, what is there. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of frameworks available. My intention here is not to go into frameworks. My intention here is to talk about how do we build an innovative culture in our team. As a leader, are we challenging our teams to innovate, or are we happy with what they are doing, right? I mean, that is the whole intention. So I won't be focusing much on the models, but I'll be focusing more on the different types of innovation and how we can, encourage our teams, or how we can inculcate what we call it as the innovation culture in our teams. Another interesting model is the innovation culture. It is a step-by-step model which defines the major steps that happen during the creation and deployment of a successful innovation. So if you look at this model, there are 3 elements in the outer circle: the creation, the implementation, and capitalization. Now, creation means when you come up with an idea. When an idea is thought about, the idea gets generated and a function gets created. Implementation is when you implement that idea and you capitalize. And then third one is the capitalization, what is there. Now, although it appears to be a linear model, in reality, there could be a lot of back and forth happening. For example, you might see that you have to go back from here to here, or from here, you have to go back here. So it's not exactly that things are going to be in a straight line or in a circle. There's always going to be a roller coaster. There's always going to be ups and downs. Going back and forth is what is going to happen as a part of your this innovation circle diagram, what is there. And then comes the capitalization of innovation. Now, many people think capitalization is related to dollars. Yes, it is related to dollars, but not always it is related to dollars. It might have an intangible value also. It might have a non-dollar or a non-economic value also when you're trying to capitalize on an innovation. For example, products which are actually giving those social benefits, which are helping people, those will actually capitalize in a different currency unit. They won't be capitalizing in a dollar unit. And again, a very specific Indian example. Again, all of us have used that product during COVID-19. Any idea what is the product I'm referring to, people from India? A product which we all have used in COVID-19. At least one product, at least one installation per family is that product. No, it's not mask. Mask, I'm talking about Indian product. Mask everyone has used in this world. A very specific Indian product, I'm asking. Mask everyone has used across the world. COVID site, yes, CoWIN app. I'm talking about the CoWIN app. Now, when you look at CoWIN app, I don't think, again, I'm not going into the politics behind it, but no, have we paid anything for CoWIN app? No, we haven't paid anything, right? I mean, it's a free installation from Play Store. Is the government charging us anything? No, for using that app? No, they are not monetizing from it. But the capitalization of CoWIN app is huge. If you look at the currency unit of capitalization is the number of people who were able to book the vaccination slot, right? How many people were able to book the vaccination slot is one of the capitalization. Yeah, another example can be Arogya Setu. The capitalization of Arogya Setu. What is the capitalization of Arogya Setu? Can anyone tell me, by the way? I'm unmuting you. You can speak now. Anyone wants to speak? What is the capitalization of an app like Arogya Setu? Because it's not, again, earning money. What could be the capitalization? That's a very interesting topic, by the way, the capitalization of a non-social.
All the government agencies and services can benefit. See, the purpose of Arogya Setu was to check your infection propensity or probability of infection in your
Perfect.
surrounding, right?
Mhm.
So let's say when you're traveling or when you're going for some appointment at that time using Arogya Setu, you can find out, or when in your society where you're living,
Correct.
or any place where you have a work you have to go using this app, it can tell you that what's the density of infection in a particular area, or it can help you trace the route of infection from one body to another body. But in terms of
Yes.
capitalization, I'm not sure how capitalization can be achieved. But yeah, a lot of government entities, healthcare providers, healthcare facilities can benefit from such information.
Exactly. So basically, how many people got alerted? How many people got alerted in advance that yes, because of this app, I'm able to actually avoid getting infected with the disease. That will be a measure. That will be a measure. That will be one of the capitalization which we can think from an app like Arogya Setu. And CoWIN app, of course, how easy it is to book an appointment. That is what COVID app will be talking about, right? So yes, that is how we capitalize these products. So capitalization is not necessarily related to dollar value. Okay, it is can be a non-economic capitalization also. I mean, the word capital sounds like more like money, right? But just a word of caution here, it can be related to a non-economic value also. So that's something which is very, very important for us to understand, especially even in our organizations. Nowadays, there's a lot of talk of becoming intrapreneurs, right? Not entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs is when I'm actually setting up my own firm, or I'm trying to come out with my own startup. But let us say I'm working in an organization, and yet I want to get a feel of entrepreneurship. That is called as intrapreneurship. So even when you're doing intrapreneurship, there will be a capitalization of the products what you're going to develop or any innovative ideas. The capitalization will be a part of this innovation circle. So innovation circle essentially is a journey, and it's a never-ending journey. Till the time the product exists, this journey will have to be there. So that's why it's shown in a circle, right? So let us say you release version 1 of WhatsApp. You'll have to again come out with innovation, right? Version 1.2, because you never know. Telegram might offer better facilities than WhatsApp. Then again, come out with version 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. So it's a continuous journey. Till the time the product exists, innovation is bound to happen, right? I mean, this circle is going to happen, right? And that is what these three circles represent, right? Creation, implementation, and capitalization. Under each of this the three steps, there are steps which are there. Okay, which were sorry, that is not 9 step actually. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps are there. So that's a slight typo there. Sorry for that. And key actions in that innovation journey. And it's a non-linear model, as I said. We might have to switch back to the previous state. So at periodic intervals, you might want to switch back and rework on it as we go along. Okay, now another very important, very wrong myth which everyone has is that innovation can only come from people who have studied, right? Or only educated people. That's not the case. In fact, Japanese automobile companies that innovation can come from anyone in the organization, right? From the smallest level in the hierarchy to the CEO, CIO. Innovation is something which any one of us can actually bring about at our workplace. In fact, many automobile companies in Japan, they actually had something called as an innovation box, right? So in an innovation box was an area where you could actually give an innovation or an idea, and this box used to be opened up every 15-20 days, and the innovation team used to actually go through these innovation ideas. Now we in the IT industry talk about hackathons. So how frequently do we do hackathons in our workplace? Probably once in a 6 months or once in a year. But as I said, Japanese automobile industry believes on continuous hackathon or continuous innovation. They say every day is an opportunity for innovation. Right? So innovation is something which is done at a continuous basis, right? It is done something on a continuous basis is what we call it as innovation, what we call. And I think we are very happy to say that, yes, we do innovation hackathons once a 6 months or once a year. Whereas the real essence of innovation is it's a daily activity. You in fact should be keeping some bandwidth aside of your work hours for innovation, right? I mean, maybe half an hour, 35, 25, 30 minutes for innovation activities is what you should be keeping aside for that. Okay, so now let me show or let me walk you through some of the very interesting innovation examples which are there. How many of us know a matchbox? I think everyone knows a matchbox. And then there is this very famous matchbox from Swan. Any idea what would be the innovation in this matchbox? Any guesses around it? What could be the innovation here? So how do you light up a matchstick? How do you light up a matchstick? Can anyone tell me? So this is something related to that. There is something related to that. So when you want to light a matchstick, what you do is you basically you basically scratch it against a kind of a I mean at the sides of this matchbox there is something called as basically a surface, right, which is different from the matchbox surface. You strike on it and the fire lights, right, side of the box. Now you'll find that this surface is at both the places. So what happened in this company was that there was a worker, okay, factory worker, and he said that I have an idea to save you millions of pounds in the production cost. He was initially ignored. No one bothered to even hear to this idea. And after a few months, the worker did manage to get senior management attention. And he told this idea in front of the senior management, and they actually laughed at this idea. Okay, but later on it was implemented. What was that idea was? The idea was very interesting idea. What he said was, the sandpaper what you have, right, which is on both the sides, you can just keep it on one side of the matchbox. Why do you need it two places? Okay, it can just be done at one side. And this actually saved millions of dollars in their production cost, right? It's like using that raw material, you can double the production quickly, right? So this idea actually worked. This was implemented. And it was a very simple idea, came from the factory worker, the person who was at a shop floor worker. He actually came out with this idea about having that sandbox on only one side of the box, what is there. Yeah, quite interesting, right? A very interesting idea what we have, right? Southwest Airline. Okay, how many of us listen to flight announcements, by the way? Let me take a quick guess here. How many of us actually listen to what the flight attendant is saying before the flight takes off? There's a safety announcement which goes, right? And probably I would say hardly 30-35% or probably 40% of the people would be listening to it, right? And by the way, now try to understand the capitalization in this idea. At least in the previous innovation, there was a capitalization, right? Amount of dollars saved. Now, when you hear this innovative idea, right, you will wonder what is the capitalization here, the model which I talked about earlier. Okay, so now there was a flight attendant in Southwest Airline. What she did was she made this flight announcement. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then place it on your child. Normal flight announcement, but the fun part starts after that. If you're traveling with more than one child, start with the one with the greatest earning potential. This is by Marty Copps, who was a flight attendant at Southwest Airline. Any guesses? What is the capitalization here? This, by the way, was awarded. Southwest management actually awarded this innovative way of doing flight instruction to this person. But what is capitalization here? If I go by this model, which I showed you just a few moments back, what is the capitalization here? Can anyone tell me? What could be the capitalization? You can unmute yourself and speak. Any guesses?
Safety of the passenger. So first you secure yourself first before trying to help others. And in the example there where it is mentioned that if you've got two kids, start with the one with the greatest earning potential.
Okay. Okay.
So capitalization is that country's resources need to be secure. Let's say in a flight there are 250 people traveling, right? So try to save as many as possible.
Perfect. Yes. So try to save as many people as you want to save. Yes. And people actually started attending to flight announcements. They actually started looking at it in detail. They actually started looking at the safety instruction card, which is in the front seat pocket, right? We all know that. But how many of us really pick it up and read it before the flight takes off, right? Interestingly, Southwest did a survey and they found that safety announcements are worth $140 million a year in increased customer loyalty. That was not a joke, right? That is what they did. I mean, one of the things which came out was that your safety announcements are pretty interesting, and this led to customers being loyal. I mean, it's not a direct correlation, I agree, but there was an indirect correlation found between these two events, which was there, right? So as I said, right, I mean, you don't have to be, really that, scientific personality to bring about innovation. Innovation can be brought in small steps in our day-to-day life, whether it is replacing, let us say, a battery in my car, or whether it is changing my electricity connection at my home, or whether it is changing the plumbing line. I mean, you can bring about innovation at all these places, right? You don't need to always be Mr. Einstein to bring about innovation. Okay, so this was another interesting use case about Southwest Airline, which brought about smiles, right? Smiles through miles, as they say. Okay, another interesting innovation which came about, and you'll be surprised to know, this product, this organization was not at all in this business of producing this product. Okay, they came in very late. Okay, they came in very late, and this is again a product which we all use. What is this product? Anyone knows? The one which I'm showing?
Sticky notes.
We all use it. Sticky notes. So there's a very interesting story about sticky notes. Okay, this company which invented sticky notes, their core business was not sticky notes. Now 90% of their revenue comes from sticky notes. Okay, 3M, yes, it is from 3M. 90% of their current turnover comes from this product. Now this was a product, that's the name of the company. Thanks, Hiren. Yeah, it was into mines and minerals actually. And how many people know this? We don't know, right? I mean, it was actually the traditional business was mines and minerals. So what happened was, one day, basically, one of their engineers actually wanted to glue something. Okay, wanted to stick that paper to a surface, and he was unable to do it. Okay, he was unable to do that, and so what happened was he decided that, okay, let me make something adhesive. Let me make something interesting. So this invention stayed secret for many years within their company, by the way. That is how the story goes. So if you read this story, it says 3M scientist Spencer Silver's invention, a sticky but not solid adhesive, went without use for years. That means he had developed it, but it was neither monetized, it was neither capitalized over. Very few people knew about it. Then one day what happened was, this person, Art Fry, wanted to have a bookmark that would stick without damaging the pages. So he wanted a bookmark for the books, and that is how he used it. Okay, that is how he used it. Okay, and partnering with Silver, they they started refining the product. And they soon realized that actually it can be put on a surface, any surface like a table. It can be put on a wall. It can be used to capture telephone numbers or to write down something important. And they started internally first socializing this product. As they say, right? I mean, an idea has to be internally, first of all, bought by the CEO. Only then you can develop a product, right? And then actually it became a multi-billion-dollar industry. By the way, today, as we see, it is more than 1 billion sales worldwide, right? And that's why it's called as a sticky business. Okay, that's why it is called as a sticky business of what is there. Okay, so that's another interesting product of what we have, right? I mean, there are many such products, right? I've just tried to take some of the important ones, some of the ones which appeal to us, some of them which we are using, some of them which we are might have experienced it. So that is the story behind Post-it. Okay, the next example I have only seen at a couple of places in India again. It is usually seen at a railway station. Okay, has anyone seen this product, by the way? The product is no surprise, but has anyone seen this product? It is so those of you who are from Mumbai, you will see them in some of the stations in Mumbai, the Mumbai suburban stations which are there. No, this is not related to coffee cup. It is a product which actually generates water from air.
No, it was not.
Okay.
I was just adding on to the previous example, not related to this one. Sorry for that.
Okay. And then it's okay. Okay. So this is a product which generates water from air, and I have actually used this product. Okay, I have actually used this product. It is available in many stations on Indian Railways. I mean, I have seen it in following stations. I mean, I have visited these stations, suburban stations. I have seen it. Okay, in Mumbai. So those of you who are from Mumbai can easily know these stations, Dadar and Thane. It is also available. It is also, this product is in Secunderabad railway station. I think many of us are from Hyderabad, but we would have seen this product. And basically, it uses a very innovative technology. Oh, it's there in Chennai Zoo also. Okay, thanks, Dilip, for letting me know that. Yeah. I mean, I haven't visited Chennai Zoo. Maybe I should visit that now. Anyways, yeah. So this uses a very innovative technology to actually extract the water vapor from air and convert it into potable water for drinking. Okay, so that's how this product has been developed, and it has been installed across. I mean, it is slowly getting installed across multiple places. Multiple public places is where it is getting installed. So that's a very innovative idea, right? I mean, India, we all know it has got a shortage of water. But if something like this is socialized, capitalized, as I said, right, in that circle, that would really solve a major burning issue what we have, right? That is definitely going to solve a major problem what we are facing today. Okay, one of the last slides which I'm going to talk about is an upcoming project in India, and it is actually going to disrupt many industries, believe me. And again, I'm not a proponent of the government here because it's a project which is started by the current government, and I'm sure you know about it. It is the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway connecting two major cities in India. In fact, the minister the other day went on to challenge that if this project is successful, there would be hardly be any flights between these two cities. Today, most of the people, if you want to travel between these two cities, have to rely on flight, which takes about 2 hours. Definitely, flight is still going to take lesser time. Train, which would take around 16 hours between these two cities. But if this expressway really comes up, it is going to disrupt the airline industry for sure. Okay, and if that time commitment stays, okay, that 12 hours of connectivity across 1350 kilometers, it is actually going to bring these two cities very close to each other. Though culturally, these two cities are very different. I have stayed in both the cities, so I know about them. But the distance-wise, time-wise, it is going to bring these two cities very, very closer to each other. It's an upcoming project. It will take, I think, another 1.5 years, I think. Oh, no, I think they're targeting this January only. 2023, they were targeting, but it has slightly got delayed. I know for sure it has got delayed. One section of it has got opened, but definitely something will come out by next year is what we will see. And if this project actually comes up, it is going to disrupt, as I said, it is going to disrupt the transport sector in India in a major way. And as you can see, there were so many amenities in this expressway, right? 120 kilometer speed limit, rainwater harvesting, solar power harvesting, solar power lighting, 75 plus wayside amenities which are there. And as I said, the claim is that it will take 12 hours to actually complete this journey from one destination to another destination. Yeah, so I think keep watching this space. When this comes up, I'm planning to also travel myself on this expressway and see how exactly this expressway has come up. So yeah, but yeah, this is an upcoming attraction which is there from an innovation perspective. So on this slide, I would like to conclude. The message which I wanted to give was innovation has to be capitalized, whether it is monetary capitalization or non-monetary capitalization, it has to be capitalized. Otherwise, people don't understand its relevance and importance. Innovation, anyone can bring about in your workplace, anyone can bring about in your home, right? You don't have to be a senior citizen or you don't have to be a CEO of the company to only talk about innovation. It can come from the grassroots level, is what I wanted to say. And another thing is innovation can come across any areas, like the Southwest example we talked about, the 3M post-it script example we talked about. And last but not the least, I would like to conclude by saying that innovation requires a lot of patience. Okay, you can't expect results to come in that fast, right? Many times you might have to switch back to a previous state in order to jump 2 steps ahead. So on that note, I end my presentation. I hope it was something engageful. It was something exciting to all of you. And those of you who are not connected with me, feel free to connect with me one-on-one. We'll be having more such topics in future, some speakers coming up in future. For those of you who are in Pune, I'm going to have an in-person talk on a meetup which is happening on 5th of May in Pune. I'll be sharing the details with you. If you're connected with me on LinkedIn, you will come to know about that meetup which is happening on 5th of May, where I'm speaking in person. I'll be more than happy to meet you all in person. It's 2 weeks from now, 5th of May. Okay, and thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for investing Friday evening with me in the happy hour of coaching. I'm now open for any questions. If anyone has any questions, those of you who are on LinkedIn Live, please type in your questions. I will respond back to those questions. Yeah, anyone, any questions or thoughts around this topic, we'll be more than happy to take it forward. And yeah, feel free to come on camera if you're okay. I will be more than happy.
No,
to
Ashu, this is
have-
a wonderful session. Thanks for that. Just wanted to add one more example from my side. This is what, whenever you visit Starbucks, you have a coffee, you see they give you a cup, fabricated cup made out of cardboard material. And on that, you have a sleeve. You have a sleeve, you put on the sleeve, which is again made of a similar cardboard material, so that you don't feel the temperature, hot temperature of the coffee in your hand, it can burn your fingers. So again, the next innovation is now the styrofoam cups are there, right? You don't even sense any kind of a heat. And then you put on the cap on top of the cup with a small outlet, so allow only limited quantity of tea or coffee you can sip to that. So these are all like incremental innovations, have been built upon the original idea.
Perfect. Yes. Yes. I mean, yes. I mean,
Ashutosh, I'd like to add what Hiren has just spoke about. I just thought about one more thing. It is in terms of not on the product side, in terms of how they were selling it. I remember this saying that, I mean, you have that cap where when you take a cup of coffee or tea, if it is hot, it makes you easy for the people to catch hold, right? They write name on that to say that if it belongs to a person called Dilip or Ashutosh, they write a name on that with some funny names, whatever. If say your friend recommends for that Ashu, and then
correct.
The coffee person who is giving you the coffee saying Ashu, who is Ashu now? So that innovation gets, and you have that kind of an environment created in this coffee shop. That's something which also attracts people to the Starbucks.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, they're trying to capitalize it.
Exactly.
Capitalize it.
Yes.
Yeah. So capitalization through personalization is what they're trying to do. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Any other thoughts? Any other questions anyone has? I mean, I'll be more than happy to take it. Yeah, so we'll be having, as I said, more speakers as we go along, as we move along the journey. More speakers we'll be having. So if there are no questions, I'll give back 5 minutes to you. Thanks a lot for attending this session on a Friday evening once again. And yeah, happy weekend to all of you, and looking forward to have more sessions like this in future. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashutosh.
Thank you, Ashutosh.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashutosh.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.